Hello, in this video I will be going over Electronic Prior Auth, or EPA for short. EPA will allow you to do prior auths for scripts right from eMedical Notes. Hopefully this feature should save you some time if you need to do prior auths. Okay, let's get started. Let's start by going over how to create an EPA request. There are a couple ways you can do it. First, let's go into our test patients chart. Once we're in the chart, a couple ways you can do it. One of them is the provider can do it right as they're creating the script. And then you can also start it from going down to the script section and clicking on the name of the medication, which will take you to the script details page. And from here, we'll be able to create one. I'll go over them real quick. If you're the provider and you want to start an EPA, we'll click on refill. Fill in the weight, click preview. You'll see that there's the EPA button here. If you click it, it'll ask if you're sure you would like to create an EPA request. Click OK. If everything went okay, you will get the confirmation message up here. From there, you'll notice that the script that you just created will be orange, which indicates that EPA has been started for this particular script. Now let's go over the other way. We'll go back. We'll just create another script. Click OK. Preview. And we'll just do print for this one. Notice how it's white. If you want to start an EPA for this script after the script has been written, you'll click on it here. And you can also access that right from the patient's chart. If you scroll down to the script section, click here. And then you'll also notice that there's a high priority. The high priority is pretty self-explanatory. If this prior auth is high priority and you need it to come back quickly, you can check this box and send the EPA request. Are you sure? Click OK, and if everything went good, you should see the confirmation message here. If you wait a few minutes, this will change. We'll get the response back from SureScripts with your EPA ID. Now, you have a few options. On this script details page, whatever we have from SureScripts should come back here. If it's been a while and this hasn't been updated, you can click on Get EPA Status from SS, which is from SureScripts. And if anything has changed, it'll pull in any new info here to this page. Next, we're going to talk about the EPA Accelerator. From here, if you click on EPA Accelerator, this will open up the EPA Accelerator right for the script that you created the EPA request for. Now from here, this will give you more information about the EPA request and the details of it, where it's at, and if you need to do anything like fill out any forms, this is where you would be able to do it. This is not the best example, only because it's a test patient and we just created it, so SureScripts is not going to actually send much for a test. Because this one's a test one and it's not really showing us much, we do have some. Let's go over to the work list where I'll be able to show you one that's a little bit more fleshed out with more details. So we'll go to the work list, and the work list in the EPA Accelerator will give you a list of the EPAs that are currently open or needing your attention. So let's go ahead and click on this one. Now here you can see, if you scroll down, there is some more details about it. Now if there's anything that you need to do, such as fill out any forms, it'll show you that here. For example, like for this patient here, it'll say view PA form. We'll click on it and it'll open up a new, well, it might not actually work because we're in testing. But the whole thing is, once you click on it, yeah, it'll take you to the digital form that you will need to fill out. Now, not every single PBM will have a digital form that you'll fill out. Some of them will have a PDF where you will need to print out, for example, and fill that out and fax it back. I mean, unfortunately, not everything is electronic yet, but they're getting there. Once you are done with the EPA, mark it as complete to take it out of your list there. Since we are on the EPA accelerator, let me go over a few other things. The EPA accelerator in general is pretty straightforward. There's really not too much you can do here per se. Let's start by going to task history. On the task history, you will see all the EPAs that have been open or in progress, and it'll give you a little bit more status as well, as opposed to the work list. So the task history will show you all the open ones and where they're kind of at in the process, aired, if it was complete, canceled. Where the work list will show you EPAs that you need to take action on, such as filling forms out and acknowledging that they were done or completed. Now, by default, after the task history will only show you so many entries. If you wanted to search for past ones that are no longer in either the work list or the task history, you can do filter and just basically start searching. One of the tricks here is you can search by the patient's last name, and you will also have to click or select a date that the EPA was created. Otherwise, by default, this filter will default to only and search for the past 30 days. For example, if you wanted to see EPA request that was done for John Doe that was done last year, you would fill out John Doe's name and the date range of last year. Otherwise, if you just left it blank, it would only search for EPAs for John Doe that have been done only within the past 30 days. That pretty much explains the EPA accelerator. Like I said, you can just click on here, the work list, and it'll give you more information here. Now that I've shown you the EPA accelerator and how to create an EPA request, I'm going to show you a couple of examples of what happens when we get the responses back from SureScripts and what you can do to act on those. The first one I'm going to show you is one that's been complete and approved. So let's go into a patient's chart. I already have it pulled up here. You can see that the status is complete. The PBM did respond with an approved, and they gave us an authorization number. Once we get the authorization number, we will automatically fill it out for you here, and the status will be changed to complete. Once you're done, we would just click update once you have that. Since this is a test one, it's already been done. I mean, it's not really doing anything, but once you click on update, it will update the script with that. And then once everything looks like this and you're good to go, you just click on send script. And when you click on send script, it will send the authorization number over to the pharmacy. So ideally, this is the response you want to get, one that's been approved, complete, with an authorization number. And once it's in this box and everything looks good, once you click send script, it'll go to the pharmacy and you'll be good to go. If you scroll down here, you will also see that we have the EPA tasks history that will show you everything that happened with this particular EPA. This is the same information that gets pulled in from the accelerator as well, just a shortcut to that info. One other example that I wanted to go over is what happens if you get a partially denied response back from the PBM. So let's go here to this patient. You will see that we got a partially denied. One of the new things that we added is if the PBM in SureScripts responds with a partially denied, you have the option of editing the script right from the script detail screen. So instead of going through, the old way was you would have to create a new script and fill it out with the changes that and start the EPA request all over again so they could approve it. Now, since they've already partially denied, they will tell you what the changes are, and all you can do is click edit script and then make the changes that they recommend. And once you do that, you'll be able to send the script over. Once you are completely done with an EPA, so after we've clicked edit script and you've sent it, or even on the approved one from earlier, go ahead and change the status to complete and update. And what this will do is, once we go to the EPA tab, this will take it out of your work list, your status here. So when you click on the EPA tab, this will show you all of the open EPAs. And in order to remove them from this list, you will have to mark them as complete. You can also do status here, a little drop down, just to kind of go through the different statuses that they have. And if you wanted to see the ones that we've marked complete, you could. By default, we show you just the open ones. From here, let's just say we wanted to close this one, for example. We will click here, which will take us to the script details page. From here, we will click complete and update. And if we go back to our EPA tab, you will notice that that one is now marked out and gone from this list. It is a good idea to keep this list clean. So once you are done, it is a good idea to mark the status of the script. If we get it back approved, whether it was approved, denied, it is a good idea to mark it that way instead of just leaving it open so it does clear the list. If you click on, like I said, EPA status from SureScripts, we will update this if we can based on the PBM's response. If not, then you will have to mark the appropriate one. Also, from the EPA accelerator, it is also a good idea if you are done with that to clear it out of your list as well. There's always an acknowledge. So for this one, we'll prove that this authorization was canceled, for example, and so on and so forth. That pretty much covers EPA in our system. I can't go over every scenario because everything changes. A few things to kind of watch out for that SureScripts has told us about, and from the feedback that I've received from our clients is, like I mentioned earlier, not every form that you get will be electronic. Some of them will be, like I was saying, a PDF where you will have to download, print, and fax it back. I know PBMs over the years, over the past few years especially, have gotten better about putting their forms online. So not everything is going to be as cut and dry as the examples that I gave you in the system. But one thing that SureScripts did mention is they should at least give you instructions on what you need to do, and those should be pretty clear on what you need to do next in order to fulfill the EPA. If you have any questions, as usual, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. I hope that you found this video helpful, and I hope that you find our EPA feature in general helpful as well. Thank you.